Take the world.
Hey, this stuff 30. I'm sinking in. Let's talk about the movie Brightburn today, man. I wanted to get into I'm gonna get into the premise of it, and then I'm gonna get into the review of it, my personal opinion and review of it. So let's get straight to it. You know how I do. So it starts off. The initial premise is Kyle and his wife Tori Breyer live in Brightburn, Kansas, and they adopt a baby because they seemingly couldn't have any of their own, and named him Brandon Breyer. The movie skips to about when Brandon's about 12 years old. They seem to be a happy family, and Brandon seems to be doing well in school until everything starts to go left when one of his classmates cracked a joke to him after answering a teacher's question thoroughly. And which the joke was a terrible joke, by the way. Let's just get that out the way. It was one of those new age horror movie trash jokes that's nothing new. But then afterwards, Brandon starts to wonder. He starts to realize that he's way ahead of his classmates and the people around him, and he starts to question why he's so different. So one night soon after that, something called Brandon into the barn outside of the family home, like against his will. He almost had it, was called to it like a zombie, and you know how that goes. His mother finds him there, banging on a wooden door on a floor that seemed to have something under the floor communicating with Brandon. And she stopped him from banging on the floor, and they went into the house. But soon afterward, on another night, he wound up being called back to to the shed, and he wound up getting the door open, where he finds the spaceship that he actually arrived to the planet in. And the spaceship, in some other language, orders him to take the world, which is absolutely my favorite part of the movie. To take the world, that's every scene with that is my favorite parts. You know what I mean? I love that. Take the world. His mom finds him there, and she regretfully has to tell him the truth. And that's when all hell breaks loose, and Brandon becomes what we would consider to be emotionally unstable, for a human. And from there, he looks to flaunt his superiority to the people of Earth. So now that that's over, that I got that out the way, I just wanted to say that this is my favorite new fictional character. Absolutely. We could can Superman. He's the square with the muscles that wears glasses. There is absolutely no element of surprise with that guy anymore. So who really prefers that over the kid who rips people's stomachs open with his bare hands and slowly laser beams through people's heads? Definitely not me. I mean, just the dynamic of an alien kid who arrives to Earth in a spaceship and develops superpowers is just great. And also what I call sci-fi realistic. If you think about it, those circumstances would either leave that being in a really weak state where they may or may not survive, or they would be extremely powerful. Let's say if the gravity and other forces from their home planet were much stronger and heavier than on Earth's. Like, they would essentially be really strong and somewhat able to fly or float, like, right? Or at least jump really high. And let's say if the people from that planet had like super solar panel eyes that could absorb like the energy from the sun and just discharge the Nikola Tesla death ray or something like that. Like, I'm just saying, it makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense to me. Like, come on, man. Anybody who saw that movie, like, how can you not like that kid, man? Like, okay, like maybe the little schoolgirl didn't deserve to get her hand crushed, and just maybe her mom didn't deserve to get her stomach ripped open, and just maybe the people on the plane at the ending didn't deserve to die either for no apparent reason. But the situation was one that should have never happened anyway, in my opinion. It was solely because of two seemingly like desperate people's neglect and selfishness. So in my opinion, everybody else were just like casualties, including his parents and the two genius cops that didn't immediately call for backup, like upon arrival at a scene like that. Like, you definitely have your typical genius horror movie characters in this movie. So there was even one part where I'm pretty sure was right after Brandon broke the little girl's hand and completely massacred all the chickens in the barn, where the mom was fighting with the dad about what they should do and saying that she didn't want to turn her back on Brandon and yada yada. I'm just like, what you mean? Like, What you mean? Like, find a way to kill him or get the F up out of Dodge. Like, it's one or the other. It's nothing else at that point. But, you know, typical horror movie characters of 2019. But overall, I think the movie was solid. I think the premise and idea was better than anything. I would definitely be looking forward to more Brandon Breyer. I definitely need more of those gruesome kills. And I want to see more to the story, including the climax to Brandon's story. I'm looking forward to Brightburn's future for sure. I think I'm going to do more of these. I also seen the movie Ma recently, so I think I'm going to do we'll see how this goes, and I think I'm going to do a review on that. But, you know, other than that, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Peace. Y'all be easy. I'm out.
Duffel cover, the sky falling. I see drug addicts, I see alcoholics. I see mama struggle, she got money problems. Every night I go to sleep, I dream of ballin'. I wake up, get